Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, a man who had 19 completions this past weekend, 4 of them being touchdown, could have been 5 very easily. The 2020 NFL MVP. The team he plays for has a bye week this weekend because they were number 1 in the NFC. Ladies and gentlemen, quarterback for the Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers.
Hey, AJ's back.
Yeah.
Ty's back. We got the whole family back.
Hey, wait till you see what Ty's. Hey, look at what Ty's wearing, huh? Ready to go, pal. Ready to go out there.
Standard.
Now, Aaron, you do know that you just got 6 cents for that purchase of that jersey from Ty Schmidt. So congrats to you on getting a little bit of a payday on that jersey, Mr. Aaron Rodgers.
Hey, thanks, Tyson. Thanks so much.
It's always nice to get I get a check from the NFL for $13.57, and they're like, "You sold 200 jerseys." I'm like, "Thank you so much. That is awesome." Aaron, congratulations on the number 1 seed in the bye week this weekend. I believe congratulations are in store. What does this mean to you this year? Longer year, obviously. How will you be spending this bye week, and how pumped are you for it, for the entire team, not just yourself?
Yeah, I'm in Tahiti right now, so it's been a good couple days. Yeah, I'm gonna be probably here the entire time, every second.
Will you watch? Will you watch the games? Will you watch every game?
No, I don't think so.
See, now that would be something people would be intrigued by, because the thought would be, well, shouldn't he be watching the team that he's potentially going to play? That's what people will say. And to do that, you have to watch every single game, basically, at this point.
Well, I'm going to see all the film anyway on our opponent, so I don't think there's a whole lot to do there. I mean, I might watch it from a fan standpoint for a little bit, but I'm going to be seeing all the film of our opponent, so I don't know. We'll see. I might check out a couple of them. There's 6 games. I mean, that's super
wild card weekend, Aaron.
Yeah, super wild.
Hey, what are you going to be doing then? You claim you're not going to be watching these games. Like, then what goes on? You just roam the house, just aimlessly trying to find something to do?
Great question.
Yeah. Just walk around in a scotch-induced stupor for 72 hours. Age, I told you, man. I got other things going on, other interests. You know, there's good times for naps and for reading and making snowmen. We still got snow out here. You know what I mean? There's a lot. Snow women as well. There's a lot of fun to be had.
Very smart of you there. You're about to get attacked potentially by the pro snow woman community for getting bashed all of these years. So you literally will just. You'll do not like I'm so interested because you told us last time you went camping on your property, and I believed it. By the way, as soon as you said it, I was like, of course he did. Like you will literally you have like a series maybe you'll watch this weekend. Will there be maybe time for Ted Lasso this weekend? Maybe get you in a good mood going into the playoffs with Ted Lasso and inspired, something like that?
This could be a Ted Lasso weekend for sure, or I could head down to my fairly new gym put together by the good people at Power. Okay? I get 0 money from them. This is a free ad for them. They sent me a hell of a rack and enough weight to get 4 plates on each side of the old squat rack. So that's where I'm going to be. I'm just going to be pushing a ton of weight. Maybe taking a page out of AJ's playbook and getting on the Versa. Like 5:30 in the morning, doing a lot of one-legged squats and weird, hip up things that he likes to do.
Jesus.
Let me get that workout, Age. Send it over.
I'll fax it to you. With Powerlift, what happened? Did they hear you? Someone wrote that story that you're really focusing on your legs this year. That's why you're having such a great year, and then they just send you a squat rack? And
what did the handwritten letter that came with the rack say?
First of all, I paid for it. Second of all, I went through Bloke. Bloke helped me look into some companies that could help me out. I got Powerlift to give me a rack. I got Iron Grips to grab me some iron. How would you say iron? How do you say iron in Pittsburgh?
Iron. Yeah. IORN. Yeah, for sure. Iron.
Yeah. Iron. Yeah, like Iron City. Great beer, I've heard. I've actually enjoyed a couple of them from time to time. But, yeah, Iron City. And but Iron Grips gave me some dumbbells. So big thanks to both of those companies.
All right.
Again, when they gave, I mean, I paid for them.
Yeah, but they created the product, though, for you to buy, which is very nice of them. Very nice of you, by the way, too, to support them. And shout out to Powerlift, by the way. We've been getting squats in here at the office.
Oh, yeah.
And I'd say we need, I don't know, what, 2,000 to 3,000 pounds worth of weights in this office.
At least.
Shout out to Powerlift, dude, by the way. Big fans over here if they want to
You got a rack in there?
Oh, yeah. We do have a rack in here, actually.
Nice. You kind of make it into like what Rogan's got in his studio.
So, Fantasy Factory, right? If you were of my age, were you into the Dare Deck sensation, or were you before that or after that?
Robin Big?
Yeah, Robin Big and Fantasy Factory and everything like that.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so I watched that, obviously. And shout out to you for watching that. It makes sense that you did. Great show. And rest in peace to Big, by the way. I got to party with him one night. Great time. Old Big is a great time. But the Fantasy Factory is kind of what is kind of happening here. Not as nice, okay, and our weather isn't always good because it's not Southern California. But yeah, we got a gym, got a basketball court. Obviously, you'll see all these things when you come. We got a football like circus basically out here. Kind of looks like the Pro Bowl quarterback challenge out here.
Yeah.
We got all these things in here just trying to have a good time, Aaron.
That's amazing. We should, and in AJ's house. AJ, you want to take us on a little tour real quick?
No, I can't do that, buddy. But yeah, you've attempted to work out in my basement before. You came down and watched me for a little bit one time.
What happened?
Yeah, I don't do a lot of working out there. It's too much fun to be had. You know what I mean?
Aaron,
Why get up at 5:15 in the morning and get on the Versa for 22 minutes when you can sleep until 8 and have a little, latte waiting for you in the kitchen?
I agree.
And better just wanting to hang out and watch wrestling videos. It's a pretty good start to the day.
Hey, by the way, I heard that's what you do with AJ's kids whenever you're over there. You might be the perfect house guest. That sounds like okay. Not only, by the way, kids are gonna have old Uncle Aaron over, who's gonna win his third MVP. But while your dad's down there getting his jawline right, okay, all morning, old Uncle Aaron's gonna be watching YouTube WWF videos, WWE videos. You're like the perfect house guest over there, from what I've been told.
Well, I definitely try and add to the group, not take away, not do my own thing, hang in the basement, smoke cigars by myself. I try and be a part of the group and hang out with the people who are housing me.
Aaron, how does the body going into this season with no training camp? Okay, you said that your elbow didn't have pain for the first time in like 10 years. I forget the exact 10 years or 15 years or something like that. You said. How does the body feel at the end of this season? Right now, you're playing better than ever. How does the body feel as compared to other years in the past?
Yeah, I mean, it feels great. I haven't been on the injury report all season, which got to be the first in a while. Like not even didn't miss a day of practice all season. So if that says anything. It says I probably still got, a few more years left in the old body.
Hey, Fred called you old. Fred Warner called you old earlier today.
Compared to him, I am.
True. Very true. Very true.
I saw you had Fred on.
He's a good guy. He said you gave him a thumbs up and he didn't know how to react, whether to be like upset or like, oh, Aaron Rodgers is telling me I'm good. I assume he went the second way, but I bet, does that happen much with you talking to young guys? Because they probably are all fans of yours growing up.
Yeah, well, I've known Fred since he was a pre-drafted rookie. Got to know him a little bit. We got the same agent, and I was a fan of his from the start. That's really
the money team. He's a part of the money team with Ed. Let's go. Hey,
he's on the contract side. He's on A1.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I love Ed. By the way.
Easy, slow your roll.
I'm sorry. I love Ed. Ed made the magic happen. That's on me. Sorry.
But that class was like Fred was in that class. Andrews, a tight end from Baltimore. Derwin James. There was some pretty talented guys in that class. And I remember telling some people around here, I said, hey, any of these guys would fit pretty good on our team. And obviously, I think Derwin got picked in the first round early, so we didn't really have a chance for him. Mark got picked, I believe, in the second or third round, and Fred went, fourth or fifth round?
Third.
Fred was third round?
Yeah, I just learned that today. I didn't know either going into the interview. That's probably something I should know, and I didn't know, so I just asked him outright. And he's too young to be offended by that question, so I'm thankful for it.
Yeah, it's a steal in the third round.
Agreed. But a lot of the younger guys probably grew up fans of yours, because you hear whenever you make quotes on this show and you flex a little bit, and it's hilarious, obviously, and the context is joking, but then when it gets quoted around like Bleacher Report or ESPN and they just take your quote of what you said and put it up, the posts are all from other athletes that are just like, GOAT, GOAT, GOAT. A lot of younger guys that are like, that's the guy. Do you have those moments with those younger guys that, like, it feels as almost they were fans of yours growing up and now they're like competing against you, and it's like those conversations that happen on the field?
Oh, for sure. That happens all the time. But they'll, TV timeouts, guy come over and say, hey, you're my favorite quarterback growing up. One guy said it to Devontae this year. Said, yeah, you're my favorite receiver in the league. And he's like, I'm not that old. I said, you're getting up there a little bit, buddy. Just get used to it. That's what when I used to go out for pregame warm-ups with no pads on, that would be a lot of the conversation. It'd be, young guys would come over, and you wouldn't get a whole lot actually done throwing or anything, just because you're, seeing young guys and guys and it's kind of a revolving kind of meet and greet. So that's why I stay inside now until the pregame warm-ups.
That's smart. Nobody came and talked to me out there, so I loved it.
It's not about that. It's just like the only reason to go out is to throw, like get a little warm. And I never really felt like I needed a whole lot. It was more because I popped my calf a couple times and I wanted to make sure my legs were warm. And I was just kind of getting superstitious about, getting 20 throws in with Jordy before the game and getting my calves warmed up and my hamstrings warmed up. And now I'm just kind of over that mindset, and I don't need it.
How do you learn that routine? Like when you come in as a quarterback in the NFL, do you have to sit there and just do what your coaches tell you, or like say there's a starter and you're a backup, you got to do what he does and follow him?
No, not necessarily. I mean, Brett never really liked to go out either. I don't think he ever really went out in those 3 years. For me, it was just kind of, all right, what did I do in college? In college, you went out with your leg pads on and you warmed up and you ran around and you threw some passes. So that's what I started doing. And then when it gets cold, then that's that crisis of conscience where you're like, do I really want to go out right now because it's like 20 degrees? I don't have pads on yet. Or do I want to stay inside? And, I think your routine, you have to watch the older guys, but at the same time, it has to be something that's comfortable for you.
I used to go out because I wanted to feel the wind, early. I was superstitious about it. Need to see 10 turnover before I put the pads on. A little mentally weak of me now that I think about it.
You need to see 10 punts turnover?
I need to see 10 turnover. And they need to go, too. And I'm going in there. It's like, all right, we're going to have a good day.
Going in there?
Yeah, sometimes I'll tell you, took us like 25, 30 balls to get those 10 good ones, and we went into the locker room shook. There were some conversations on whether or not. Can I get to your throwing motion?
Yeah.
You seem to like throw like a dart. Do you agree with the way you throw? Have you always thrown? For instance, talk to Josh Allen earlier in the year. Josh Allen had this science thing connected to his body that basically told him what was firing when, like a golf simulator. Basically, it was like a golf simulator. And it turns out his hands were in front of his hips, so it was a little bit off, and he got his hips more in tune with his body and everything like that. He's changed his throwing motion, and you've been able to see that, obviously, on the field. You're just notoriously known as this guy who's just a great ball thrower, like the greatest thrower of a pigskin of all time. Did you ever go through all those things, or when did you do you ever change it? Are you changing it, or has it been the same ever since, like, high school, basically?
Well, I went through some different mechanical adjustments from really junior college to Cal and back to the league. When I went from JUCO to Cal, Coach Tedford wanted the ball up on the shelf. I'm sure you guys can find a picture of that quickly with that ball way up by my ear. And then naturally the next, once I got drafted after 2 years, I was like, man, I want it to be a little more comfortable, kind of back down where I held it at junior college and in high school. So I just naturally kind of moved it down, and since then, it's just about muscle memory, remembering how to throw kind of each type of throws, and watching Brett and different fundamentals and trying to figure out why he was doing certain things, and then little drills you can do to work on your balance and your hitch and your weight distribution and your rhythm and your timing and all that. But it just comes down to remembering the throws and then the kind of locking those away and being able to access those in the moment to be accurate.
How much can you change as a quarterback? Remember back when Tebow was coming out of college, I believe, like, oh, he's working on this guru, he's going to change his throwing motion. I'm not saying Tebow like specifically, but can you change your throwing motion?
It's tough. It's really tough. Malcolm Gladwell talks about it takes 10,000 times doing something to become an expert of it. 10,000 throws is a lot of throws. And I think if you've banked, say, 50 to 100,000 throws, doing it a certain way, 10,000 isn't going to be enough to change it. It's going to be, I don't really know how, unless you can fit yourself up on some sort of special harness or machine to get you in a certain way. I think it's hard to kind of break ingrained muscle memory. That's why I always tell young quarterbacks, and Tom Clements used to harp on this as a young player for me, but exaggerating fundamentals in the drill work is the only way anything can carry over to the active live situations, because you have to overdo it in order for something to click in when you're in those live drills to be able to change things. So for me, it was exaggerating maybe my hitch to make sure I'm really using my legs at the back end of my drop, or exaggerating the movement in the pocket where I'm not just slightly getting off the midline, I am jumping off the midline right, jumping left, to learn how to incorporate the subtlest of movements into the pocket of your game. So that's one thing that's really helped me, I think, over the years, was that guidance of exaggerating all the little things in order for something to kind of click in when the live bullets flow. Because when you're out there and just playing, you're going to revert back to your normal muscle memory, and unless you've exaggerated that and tested that time and time again, just throwing a certain way over time is not really going to change. It has to be exaggerated for there to be meaningful change.
Do you practice? You said you haven't missed a practice. Do you throw every day too? Are you on a pitch count at this point, or are you doing all drills, everything?
I actually didn't think I needed to be on a pitch count this year based on the change in schedule. We ramped everything up. And I said on the show early, but we had those 10 days or whatever where it was really a slow acclimation period to training camp. I didn't have any arm trouble, and I didn't need to be on a pitch count the entire year, which has been really nice.
Did you change anything in your body, like dieting or anything like that? Or is this just strictly, you think, with the way you've approached it from, the powerlifting with the squats on your back and the no OTAs and the forced throwing? Has there been any other changes you've made? Powerlift, yeah. Shout out, dude.
Just lifting. No, I think, and the great people of Wisconsin don't like hearing this a lot, but I say it because it's the truth. Cutting gluten and, probably most importantly for me and my own blood type, dairy out of my diet has really made a difference on my body. It's just changed the way my joints respond. It's changed the way my skin and body responds. I don't feel bloated all the time. I don't feel kind of slow and foggy. And there were things that I tried to use as control factors over the years to figure out what exactly were the few things that affected my body the most. And cutting out gluten and dairy has been a big part of, I think, having less inflammation in my body. Less inflammation, you're going to be healthier, and I just haven't had the joint issues that I've had in years past. Now, I haven't taken as many shots as well. I've only, sacked 20 times this year, which was a low for me, for my career, which I'm very thankful for. But the diet part has been a big part of it too. Did you have to give blood for that? That's what that one where you have to give blood, and then they give you a whole diagnosis, and they're like, well, your body reacts great to wheats and to the hay and to the meats, but I'll tell you what, dairy is going to be tough in Wisconsin. Dairy is a problem. Is that how that whole thing played out, and how long ago did that happen for you? Yeah, that was about verbatim how it happened.
I thought so.
No, I haven't actually done the official blood test yet. I just have done different types of diets over the years and figuring out what those control variables are. And for me, when I would cut out dairy for long periods of time, I felt way better. When I would cut out gluten, I felt way more energetic and less sluggish. Man, I think it's something that a lot of people should look into, yourself included, as you're drinking that beer.
Whoa. Green tea with Splenda, by the way, so there's no carbs. Now, I will talk about the two pizzas I had here.
Yeah.
But you are right. Anytime I get in my...
You had a couple of pies, huh? Were the deep dish, thin crust?
They were New York style. It was New York style. Pepperoni sausage. I don't fucks with the sausage and pepperoni. I'm just the pepperoni. But a little bit lack of cheese, which would have done you numbers. But for me, it treats me the same way. I just can't power through how good it tastes. I just continue to do it. Every time I'm on keto and I'm thin, I have the most energy. My body feels the best. And then all of a sudden, I smell that pizza. And I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm just going to feel like shit for the next week. And I just go for it. So good for you. Good for you, man.
Yeah, man. I respect you as well. You know, you gotta everything in moderation.
See, that's been my problem. You know what I mean? That has been my problem over the years. AJ, what do you got?
Oh, so Aaron, congrats. It sounds like you're one step ahead of the testers there. So congrats on your 16th, 17th year doing that. But also, Alex Van Pelt is calling plays now for the Cleveland Browns this week. He was on the staff in Green Bay, your quarterback coach. I know you had a good relationship. How do you think he's going to do?
I love Al. Al's going to do great. He's such a great football mind. He grew up in the, in the West Coast system, and he was around some great teams as well. And in Buffalo, part of that K-gun offense they were running, where it was no huddle. It was, and they had an incredible run game along with the no huddle. A lot of the run and shoots at the time were really, really heavy pass. If you think about Atlanta and Houston, the Oilers during that time, playing the entire game in 3 and 4 wide receivers just was different. But in Buffalo, they were able to still run the ball really well with Thurman. And he brought a lot of that run game knowledge right away to our offense in Green Bay. And then just his steady hand. He's a very calm guy on game day. He always understood that less is more on game day and just was never one to get, riled up or lose his cool. He's just a really even-keeled guy. A lot of fun to be around. Great coach, great in the locker room. I think, this is what he should be doing, being an offensive coordinator. And hopefully he gets some opportunities moving forward.
You talked to I don't know who you were interviewing with after the game. You had your headset on, then when you tried to take it off, the wire got stuck to your shoulder pad. You played it off super cool, and then you walked off. But I heard some of the things you said in that thing. You did play super cool. You at the end you were told basically, what are you saying to your team or something going in this bye week? And I don't know if you said don't get fucking COVID or I just put that in. Like I entered that myself, don't get COVID. By the way, if you said don't get fucking COVID on that interview post-game on national television, you're my MVP forever. Not that you're not already, but if you said don't get COVID, that is maybe the most crucial part of this playoff run. We were talking about this with the Browns. The Browns head coach is out for 10 days because he tested positive. It's a 10-day sentence if you test positive right now automatically. No, that is going to be a massive key of this entire playoff because you can miss 2 games potentially in a 10-day. I mean, it's a big deal, and Cleveland's dealing with it right now. Are you guys just locked down? That you have to be just locked down, huh?
We're totally locked on. We're not going downtown. We're just trying to hang out and stay out of the COVID list. No, look, I mean, nothing's really changed. I'm interested in how it happened in Cleveland because really nothing's changed from our daily routine. I mean, you're still, obviously going to work and practice and grocery store and whatever it might be, gas station, doing the normal things you do every single week. I just wonder how something like that happens. It's too bad. And I said it kind of tongue-in-cheek after the game. It wasn't like some, weird tyrannical comment.
Yeah, I was hoping it was going to be like a speech. Listen up, boys. Okay? We got a bye week. Let's handle this, okay? Let's not get COVID. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3, team. That's what I thought. It was like, you know what I mean? Like an actual speech I was hoping.
No, it wasn't. But thanks. Thanks for the idea there. I might spring that on us tomorrow, maybe Thursday.
Zoom call.
Real heartfelt, yeah. Like it would be like a patent speech, but say COVID like 32 times.
Well, there's 3 strands of it, so make sure you hit all of them.
Yeah.
There's 3 strands found by the genome testing that the NFL does in the Cleveland Browns organization. COVID-19, 19A, 19B, all hanging out in Cleveland right now.
All right.
I'm going to go to my notes section, all right? I'm going to go to my notes section. Every week.
You watched the game? I know Ty did, but you actually watched the game Sunday?
Man, I loved it. Ty's got a great question for you. Ty, let's go to it. Go ahead. What do you want to know from the man, the legend, Aaron Rodgers?
Well, I was just, Aaron, I'm curious. Given the guys from Iowa, the state of Iowa, who are undrafted and how well they've played, what is it about those guys? And do you think there's any way a fat, out of shape guy like me could maybe sneak onto the practice squad next year, line up in the slot, maybe catch a tutter from you at some point.
Well, also, maybe this year, get him a Super Bowl ring.
Yeah.
Get him on the practice squad.
Wait, owners don't get a ring?
It's going to be tough with the Packers.
Yeah, we can figure something out for sure. It's those guys like Brian Balaga, Iowa. Those guys like, you see the mentality that they have. Whether you're playing at Iowa State, or Indiana State, or any small school in the Midwest, there's a different type of mentality. You know what I mean? And we seem to attract some of those guys. I'm not calling Iowa State or Iowa a small school, but there's some small schools that we've acquired some players from in the Midwest. Guys who've had nice careers for us. I am really happy for Daphne.
Hey.
Nobody knew who he was a few weeks ago.
Also, do you know, earlier in the year, you made fun of the number 49, which everybody in the NFL knows. Like, if somebody has the number 49, or I forget what number you said, but you said an obscure number. And here we are, last game of the season, you're throwing a touchdown to that number, Daphne. And then, by the way, your celebration with him seemed so genuine. I was like, that old boy. Like, you were so genuinely happy for him. That was a cool moment with old Daphne.
It was really cool. I looked right on the play, adjusted the play at the line. I looked right, and he, I thought he was going to wrap around Trevathan on the play, and he kind of did this weird stutter step and went inside, and then on top of 55 on the backside. It actually worked out perfect, but I was pretty happy for him. He's made so many damn plays in practice. I mean, he really has been incredible. And you're just watching him going, no, should we actually need to get this guy involved in what we're doing. And he's going to be getting a few more plays. Last week he made his first catch, and I'm really happy for him.
Hey, it's not a bad time to add another weapon, by the way. You've just been slicing and dicing. A couple quick questions from the notes section, okay? These are things that pop up while watching the game that I think to myself, I'd like to know the answer to that question.
I can't wait.
The long johns that you wear every single week kind of had a little bit of a bacon neck this week, a little bit looser, it seemed like, than in weeks past. Is that the same one that you wear every cold game? And what is it? Because we know growing up in Pittsburgh, long johns come on, that means it's cold as shit outside if the long johns are coming out. You with that long johns turtleneck normally means the other team is in some deep shit.
That's what I like to wear when it's below 30. I've worn it, really since the most miserable day of my life, temperature-wise, which was 2007 at Chicago. It's just that extra little warmth on your neck, and it's a comfort thing for sure. It's definitely not for looks. I've been ridiculed on this show and off this show about any type of clothing swag that I may or may not have.
Oh, definitely on this show.
When it comes to rocking the turtleneck, that's all about comfort. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's built for comfort, not for swag appearance.
Yeah, and by the way, swag is your inner essence and just owning it, by the way. Some really smart man said. They do zoom in very close on your face, so you see that thing gets a lot of airplay. Maybe sell that. Maybe Powerlift gets in on the Powerlift gets in on the turtleneck, because you guys are hosting, obviously, the playoffs all the way through the NFC, through the Super Bowl. Congrats on that. On the MVS deep post tutter, okay? You remember the play? Yeah.
I do.
You waited, okay, and this was in a series of events. You waited until 0 on the play clock, okay? Absolute 0. They seem to be showing a late blitz. When did you decide their blitz was coming? And when did you make the decision that MVS was the huck you were definitely going to? Because it seemed like you used literally the entire play clock, and it wasn't until the last second you're like, got it, bang, touchdown happened immediately after. How does that all happen in your brain? And why do you get so close to delay of games so often? I think a lot of people would want to know.
Well, the play, I think the reason for the timing on the play was Robert Quinn was having a conversation with Trevathan during that play, and they couldn't decide what side he was supposed to be on, so I could tell that there was something that was a little messed up on defense. Now, the play actually called for Aaron Jones to motion back into the backfield, Devontae to widen back out, and then we had a concept, 3-man concept on the right, and kind of a 2-man concept with Devontae kind of backside by himself to the backside. But I could tell, I really wanted them to maybe declare what they were doing because I knew there was some sort of pressure coming, and I was just trying to get the protection right. Now, after I could tell that this was kind of coming down to it, I decided to leave Jonesy out there. So I kind of gave him a left-hand stay and just tried to kind of quick snap it on him because it looked like that nobody that there was confusion on who had 3 vertical to the other side. And 3 vertical for us was Marquez Valdes-Scantling, who's one of the faster players in the league. And at the snap, I could tell that he was going to have a backer kind of drifting out to him. I knew that there was some sort of pressure coming from the backside because why would they be kind of running out to 2 and 3 on the front side if there wasn't anything on the backside? So I just tried to beat the defender blitzing with a throw, and MBS did a really nice job of just running straight and then catching the ball above his eyes there, and that was a good play for us.
Oh man, football has to be so much fun for you, right? It just has to be so much fun. Oh, those two are talking to each other. Oh, what's going? Oh, you guys. Oh, one of them are fucking up right now. Okay, let's go ahead and try to take advantage of that. That has to be just an absolute blast. Is that why you get all the way down to 0 every time? Because there was a time Aaron Jones was in the backfield alongside you. Play clock got to 2. You motioned him out of the backfield at 2 seconds left on the play clock. And I was thinking to myself, there's no way they get this playoff right here. Jones went into a tight end, almost like a H-back split or something like that. Lined up, you snapped it. As the clock hit 0, or maybe a half a beat after it hit 0, before a timeout was called, or before the ref looks at the ball and then looks up at the clock, because you actually have an extra half a second, right? It was at what point do you know, like, you can send him in motion? Was it 2 seconds? Did you know there was 2 seconds left on the play? It looks like it's organized. Are you completely in control with those? You know exactly how much is on the clock every single time and everything like that? What is the process of that whole thing?
Well, look, this is the process, I believe, and most times I know what's going on. The process is we have a lot of long play calls, so we don't always break the huddle above 20. By the time we get to the line of scrimmage and we go through a set of cadences, if it's a long count, so it might take a little bit of time. On that one, I was trying to adjust the routes on the front side to something I felt like was a little better option, especially for Tay, who was number 2 in the slot on that play. And then what usually happens is over on the sideline while I'm trying to go through these gymnastics and get us in the right formation, final formation, Tim Boyle is trying to calm any nerves on the sideline for Peter LaFleur and not let him call any timeouts. And most of the time he succeeds with that, and most of the time I'm aware of the play clock and we're able to get something going. That play ended up being, I believe, a 7-yard completion to Devontae on the right side, moved the sticks, and ended up scoring on that drive to go up 21-10. But same thing with the play to Marquez. I think talking to Matt afterwards, we were laughing about how, it's the fine line between him thinking he needs to call timeout and me thinking I can get the play off before 0. And that's where the trust comes in, and I appreciate it. But I laugh because I think he's definitely a lot more nervous than I am.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm thankful that Timmy's over there going, no, let him go.
Well, because I'm at home thinking probably what LaFleur is thinking. And at this point, and by the way, I don't think I've ever watched you play as much as I have this season. You are awesome to watch, dude. And I know, obviously we're best friends and shit like that, but watching you for an entire season, the swag and the confidence, but before the play, because a lot of teams, right, you talk to any defensive linemen, they'll see the play clock, and once it gets below 5, they're like, okay, they're not making any more checks. As soon as the next sound, we can go. You are still calling a bullshit cadence at 3 seconds, making a check. The amount of things that happen in those final 3 seconds before the play clock gets to 0 with you, it has to be about tenfold every other quarterback in the NFL. And you use it as a weapon. It's awesome to watch.
Yeah, was there a question in there? Or are you just lobbing me up a little bit, best friend?
You're just lobbing you up a little bit because if you're a fan of the Packers, you got to be like, oh my God. And then you get past it. You're like, no, Aaron's going to figure it out. He'll figure it out.
You really feel like yourself and a bunch of the Packer Nation out there are more like LaFleur, Oh my God! Is he gonna get it off? Time out.
I've only been around 1 year. Okay, this is my first year. All right, and I am at the point where I'm like, come on. And then obviously it all works out, and I'm like, why did you even guess? Like,
Ty can't be that nervous.
Ty's taking a shit right now. I think Ty's got something going on.
You got the timer on him?
Yeah, he left 3 minutes ago. So,
okay.
and Ty is an aggressive. Last question here before AJ's got something. I apologize. Aaron Jones got a G necklace. Do you have one of those as well? And do you know who gifted him that?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't. I saw you at something. I didn't know what it said. But no, I don't have one of those. Not a big jewelry guy.
Oh, had me fooled. I thought you were. But last thing, I know Dana Orlovsky actually, he diagrammed this play beautifully on the internet, the MVS touchdown, and he mentioned something. He said, look at Aaron, he's gathering information, and you're gathering information pre-snap. I'm just wondering, how was that more from your, like, the first year you started till now? Like, how much more information can you gather?
Oh, I mean, it's just different age playing on the road and being able to not have any crowd noise issues. It's just like at home when you're able to hear things and able to communicate everything you want to communicate to the guys. It just changes the whole dynamic of a game now, and I think that's really helped all veteran quarterbacks this year, and really all quarterbacks in general, being able to hear 8 games where you wouldn't be able to hear really anything, especially some of the tough environments. Talking about the Seattles, the New Orleans, Minnesota's, Chicago as well, where it's just so tough to hear. Now you're able to just do things that you wouldn't be able to do in a normal year with fans.
Did you hear what Trevathan and Quinn were saying to each other? Like, are you actually hearing them talk over there?
Oh, yeah. There's full-on conversations going on.
And you have to act like you can't hear what they're saying? Like, you have to, like, look
away?
No,
you know. I mean, you don't have to act at all. I mean, I think there's part... it's the same thing. If I'm giving, calls to people, they can hear everything that I'm saying. So it's really been a year where you've had to really self-scout on exactly what you're saying to the line of scrimmage and how that's, going to get perceived and studied. Because why would you not study the TV copy? It makes no sense not to. Scary Ninja, I saw you didn't use it. Yeah, we retired that one for a week or two. You know what I mean? Oh, are you using it next weekend? We'll bring it, but not that. We'll use it this weekend for sure. Whenever you're drunk walking around the house over there in Tahiti, dude, is that what you're gonna just be saying? Scary Ninja everywhere, dude. Scary Ninja, scary ninjas. Hey, real quick. I think I'm gonna watch. On that note, if I really am into thinking about ninjas and scary things, I'll probably watch either a Chuck Norris movie. Nice. Or Three Ninjas, which is a great early 90s movie. I'm always looked at myself as a cult. That's Ty's favorite, I guess.
Childhood movie.
Yeah, it's his favorite childhood movie.
Ty's back now.
No, he's not. That's what the reaction was whenever you said that. Everybody goes,
Maury Tanaka.
Empty chair.
Rest in peace right now to everything going on through Ty's life. Miss you, bub.
Let up the eyes, boys.
Beverly Hills Ninja, also great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Chris Farley.
You like Chris Farley?
I love Chris Farley, yeah.
Big Ben Stiller guy, right? You're a big Ben Stiller guy.
Yeah, I am.
You going to watch Ben Stiller movie what are you going to do this weekend? Why won't you just tell us what you're going to do this weekend?
I don't know. I mean, there's so many possibilities, bro. I mean, I might tune in, look at the schedule and see what's going on, but a nice, relaxing, quiet weekend, man, after a long season, that sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah, you're right.
I know you're more of that Gen Z, extra overstimulation all the time. But, relax. Age and I, we're kind of that late millennials where, we still enjoy our quiet time and our routines and not having to be on social media, commenting every single punt that goes down.
All right, listen. A lot of comments and shots were taken there, and I'm just going to move past them. I would like to let you know that my generation is a good generation still, okay? The generation you need to be yelling at is Foxy's, okay? Foxy's over here sending me texts last night about the Bachelor season premiere going on. Mm-hmm. Soft as a bag of milk, that kid. But anyways,
You feel better now? You feel
Well, I was going to stick up for myself, but at this point, there's no reason to. Honestly, at this point. Have you gotten an Oculus? I'm going to buy you an Oculus. It's this virtual reality thing. I'm boxing against really good artificially intelligent made boxers, and I'm knocking them out, Aaron. I think you would ping pong on this Oculus. I'm playing against people from Japan, Germany, in their houses. I'm playing ping pong. I think you would love the virtual reality, Aaron.
Yeah. What's wrong with this reality, though?
Great question.
Can't you just set that jaw, bro, and just keep punching, man? Get in the ring. Be like the Pittsburgh Kid and just, get some of the boys, to get. That's what you should do. You should get a ring in there, get some headgear for safety, and that's a good workout. Boxing is a good workout, man.
Yeah, I'm knocking out fake dudes.
Just set that jaw and keep punching, man.
I don't want to get punched in the actual face, but I am knocking out dudes. Let's get back. Ty just came back, by the way. That was a 9-minute trip. Attaboy, Ty. That was a 3-round battle if I had guessed that.
That was round one. My guts are getting beat up right now. It's going to be a long day.
Is it because of the pizza?
Yes.
It was so good. This is that dairy thing you were talking about earlier. Mm-hmm. Three Ninjas, his favorite.
I know. I heard. I almost fucking punched a hole in the stall. I wish I was in here for it.
A lot of microaggression in that office. You got to get it. You got to get that ring, bro.
I do have a ring.
Or a heavy bag. Get that heavy bag. And
We do have a heavy bag. We have a ring. We have a heavy bag. We have a basketball court. We have a quarterback circus. We have a rack over here. We got it all. The issue is we use it and then, all right, kind of done with it, and then it's just around forever. Yeah. That's just kind of what happens in this office.
Sounds like a good problem to have.
Do you have any cool things?
I do. I just actually recently got this rack from Powerlift. Also, some dumbbells from Iron Grip.
Do you own Powerlift? This would not be surprised. Yeah, you do. You have like a percentage of Power Grip for sure, or Powerlift.
No, I am thankful though that they sent out that thing because the workouts changed now. All the science has told everybody that the safest thing on Mondays, the day after a game, is for players to come in, be able to work out, but you have to work out in your own clothes and you have no access to the locker room.
Well, that's science.
It's science, yeah. It's a lot of people sitting around, with all those tests. I'm sure they've got a paper published in the scientific journal about how working out in your own clothes is safer than working out in team issue clothes.
The protocols are awesome, huh? That's what it sounds like.
Ever changing.
You allowed to eat lunch with anybody yet?
No.
What do you do?
God forbid. God forbid.
What do you do? One per table?
Yeah, one per table.
And then how much time are you in the facility that you're not practicing or lifting in your own clothes?
Is this an opportunity for me to talk about how, the grind and all the hours I spend guarding my locker, as coaches are so famous for guarding their desks?
Well, you are the NFL's MVP, so I think we would like to hear your Mark Wahlberg-like daily routine. Up at 4 a.m., golf, Bible, 9 holes, meditate, another workout, kids wake up, feed them. Now it's 9 a.m. What are we going to do with the rest of the day? The NFL's MVP, Aaron Rodgers, spends his day doing what during the season?
Man, I'm up at like 5 in the power lift rack, getting my pull-ups in, my front squats, my Arnold press. Then I grab the Iron Grip dumbbells.
Oh yeah.
And I do about 20 minutes of bis and tris and calves. I call it my spring break workout.
Nice.
Ooh. And then that time it's about 6:30. So I have 4 cups of coffee. Then I head in the facility, do my COVID test. And then I get right to just sitting in the room with the film on, making sure that it's on. So if anybody passes by, they would think I'm watching film. I'm sleeping with my eyes open for the next hour until we start at 8 o'clock, and then I'm rip roaring ready to go.
Why are you such an asshole? Why? I mean, that's unbelievable. Congrats on an incredible season, brother. We appreciate you joining us every Tuesday through it. Enjoy your off weekend or whatever the hell you're going to do.
Yeah. Hey, next week we'll be able to talk about, being a part of the Final 8 and a real opponent.
Hey, isn't that crazy, though? 32 teams, already down to the final 8. You guys made it. Who's going to make it to the top of the mountain, Aaron? Who is going to bunker and hunker down away from COVID to make it to the Super Bowl in Tampa?
That's the beauty. You never know. You never know, Pat. But I'm just thankful you guys there are being safe and not touching each other or, doing anything that's going to get anybody in danger. So you guys keep being safe there. Age, I think your wife is just an amazing woman just to be able to put up with you, her 5th child. I mean, it's incredible.
It takes all of us, guys. Takes all of us. Right. Ladies and gentlemen. Hey, by the way, Ty is going in for round 2, by the way.
Go get him, Ty.
Go get him. Good luck in there, bud.
Jeez.
See you, Aaron Rodgers. Yeah! Thank you, Aaron.